So we started the business with only 50,000 stock. And right now, I can tell you the stock is even 3 million has got 3M out of 50,000. On a very good day, you can be able to make up to 90,000, depending on how much you push yourself. My name is Joel Otieno. Otieno Fragrance Garden is the place where all things have fun. We are in Westlands and also at the Hub. We have different perfumes. We have kids perfume. We have ladies perfumes. We have men's perfumes. We have car perfumes. We have office perfumes, home perfumes, and also perfumes that you can be able to use when you're taking a bath. This is a family business. We started it at April 4th, 2022. And the founder is Andrew Awili, and he's the one who steered me. And he's my uncle. The love of perfumes has been there in the house. So everyone loves perfumes, and that's when we ventured into selling perfume. So you can be able to start this perfume business with as low as even 100 shit. Myself, I even used to sell perfumes back then in high school. I used to buy perfumes from people when they get broke. I buy them from a student, and then I get to sell them to other students who want to buy the perfume. So for me, it even started even way, way back beyond just starting from here. So that's when we started with a brand called Ataford, and Ataford then was going for 2,000, and the reception was really good, and it was gotten out of the market. That's when Michael's Bouquet came in. And Michael's Bouquet had an option for an agent. So we were the first agents to be able to start with Michael's Bouquet. Michael's Bouquet, then they had perfumes as low as 300. So the small one, the 10 ml one, they were going for 375, and also the deodorant for 300. Then the business grew. The other agents came in, people were buying on wholesale price. You could be able to spend like even 10,000 just to be able to buy the perfumes. You buy them at then it was very cheap. You're buying them at a very, very low price, as low as 500. So 500 could get you like 8 perfumes. You could get deodorant as well. You could get the 10 ml one, of which 10 ml ones you are going very fast because you're selling them at 75, 500. So someone can be able to spend 500 easily on something that smells really good. And the good thing about those perfumes, they were imitations of perfumes that are smelling really good, like the 30,000 perfume 50. So the customers were able to relate directly with the perfume. So the Savage Dior and other kind of perfumes. Because we now they back into other brands that are expensive. And mind you, a perfume business, it's not a must even you have that whole budget. We have distributors in Kenya. So there's something called consignment. Consignment is whereby you agree with someone that I have this space, I have a clientele. So you bring your perfumes and then you give us on a wholesale price, and then we resell it to other people. So for the Michaels are the ones that we started by paying. But for the other brands, we have dealt with on consignment with other distributors. So we haven't even spent money. So you can imagine on building now the other big brand. So no judge, it's how you are able to play around with whatever you've been given. You have the space, you have the clients. So in a day, the least amount you can be able to make is around even zero, bro. You don't deny yourself, but let's say 3,000, 6,000. That's a bad day. Remember, perfumes, you have to push yourself. You have to call people. Make sure you have very good communication skills and you can be able to interact with people, make them feel at home and calm and everything. So both here in Westlands and the Hub, you can be able to make that easily. But the hub now is a different market. We have high-end people, we have middle class, we have low. So how we balance that is the perfumes that we are selling. We are selling perfumes as low as 300 shillings all the way up, depending on what you want. Like I said, we deal on consignment. So they can be able to get other perfumes from distributors at the same market price and resell it because we don't want to spend. You don't want to spend money and put money, you put perfumes here and they're not going. So the safe thing to do, you get someone who has a lot of perfumes, who bring containers, and you stock them up and you sell them since we know how to sell them to other people. So on the side of expenses, we pay the rent here in this case, which it goes depending on the dollar. So it ranges from 60,000 all the way to 86, 90, depending on the dollar rate, how it gets to fluctuate. At the hub, you can be able to get actually a table, at 2,500, and you can set up your business there. 2,500 per day, only set up your business. But now, as we have a kiosk, so that one is a little bit high. Yeah, so we will put there, depending on how you talk to them, from 60, 80, depends on your space. They came out with square meter, how much space you take. So it depends. So roughly, we're talking about if you go for the big one, 60,000 just for rent. There we don't pay anything to the distributors because they bring the perfume. So when we sell the perfume, we pay them. So that comes in. And then now the people that work, we have to also pay ourselves. There are also other expenses that we get to inquire. Of course, buying bags, you have to brand yourself, and also the delivery or the goods. Those are the small expenses that it's not a lot, but perfume has good profit. There's this one day that this guy just came. He's a Luo guy. So I met this guy working in a suit. And I just called him Jatelo. Jatelo, karibu, karibu, karibu. And he just came in and he just started talking. I'm a Luo, so he just started talking Luo. Little did I know that this guy would spend 60,000 just like that. And that's the day that I sold a lot of money, like something thousand there. But that guy, alinunua tu hivi sasa, nikakaa tu chini hata najiuliza nifunge, lakini naangalia masaa bado because also where you working, you work with a contract from 10 to 8 is a contract involved. So that was a really good surprise. But I really had to talk to him and make him comfortable. There's a way you have to capture that smile. That's now it's you who is showing him, this smells nice, this smells good. There's a way you have to really make him feel that, hey, you're confident. Because he was buying for the wife, for the children, and also himself, and also other friends. So he took a lot of Michael's perfume and he even referred me to a friend who came in and bought other perfumes for around 50. So that was a miracle. God works in miraculous ways. The challenges that we face is now, of course, number one, selling. The perfume markets right now, a lot of people are selling perfume. So how you sell is what will bring back your customers. So that's the number one challenge that we get, how to sell them. But as well, like I told you, perfumes, you cannot go wrong with them. You can sell it to someone who even didn't plan. So it's a challenge and also an advantage, has an advantage, kind of. Number two, maybe now would be when the distributors want to bring the perfume, they want cash. So that becomes a challenge because we cannot put perfume here and someone doesn't want to bring perfume. And we cannot pay for something we already haven't gotten the money. that can be a challenge. So you have to have a very good relationship with your distributors. And another challenge could be now you have overworking, things like that. Might be a challenge, but also you have to have your own time. But when you get used to it, you can be able to balance that with your own life and now the life outside there. Basically, I feel like it's a balance. It's a normal kind of day life. Just that the distance depends where you are. For me, I think that happy moment is always every end and every beginning of the month. That's what makes me happy because people have money. One aspect about money and business, first of all, is maximizing profit. Everywhere you have to maximize profit and saving, you have to be very, very disciplined because remember there's rent, there's paying all those expenses that are there. So how to balance the saving and also your own money, money for the shop, all that money to pay the distributors, the people who bring in perfumes, how to balance that. And at the end of the day, you make your own share. So I think people really need to be very disciplined with that.